Let's turn our attention to another state, South Australia, where there's another push, and listeners will have heard us talking about this now for years. This time, a 15th attempt to decriminalise prostitution in South Australia. What's your perception, Wendy?
Yeah, so I've been with ACL for 12 years now, and this has just been one of the things that has just continued on and on. And I've got to really congratulate our staff in South Australia, particularly people like Christopher Browier, who has worked really hard highlighting the harms that there are, particularly to women, in a full decriminalisation of prostitution. And so it's that sort of work, and from other people as well, and other organisations, Family Voice, those sort of people too, have been working really hard to highlight the harms of saying, prostitution is just like any other job. So we've really been pushing it's either the Nordic model or the equality model of prostitution law reform. Obviously, there's no perfect law, but this law that has been brought up in many countries around the nation, like around the globe, Sweden, Norway, Iceland, Canada, I think Northern Ireland, France, Ireland, even Israel, and there is a bill at the moment before the UK Parliament. So this bill has proven to reduce trafficking and does improve the conditions for women, including, and probably most importantly, providing exit strategies to help them get out of the trade. Because when you decriminalise prostitution and you say this is perfectly fine, just like a normal job in McDonald's, then obviously there's no need to provide an exit strategy for somebody to get out of McDonald's. And so there's no exit strategy provided for women to exit the prostitution trade. And this is one of the main things that we're really pushing for, because no parent wants to encourage their child. You can't imagine going to a high school careers night and having the local brothel there wanting to have people come. You can't imagine a brothel owner sending their teenage daughter up to try the trade. It's horrendous, the thought of it. And so we are calling on the South Australian government to be the first state. I mean, as you say, 15th attempt, we want them to be the first state to adopt this equality model. And so there is a writing campaign on the ACL website. If you're in South Australia, please go on and have a look at that and support that for us.
Wendy, is the Nordic model the same as the equality model, or has the equality model just got a fine-tune? Is it tweaked for our Australian environments here? What's the difference between those two?
It's very similar. The equality model is based on the Nordic model, but I think in every country there would be areas of tweaking, and you do adopt it to your own country. And I think sometimes when we talk about the Nordic model, people think of it as something that belongs in Nordic countries. And so in most countries around the world now, they are interchanging those words, but the equality model would be based on the Nordic model, but it would be made suitable for our own situation here in Australia.